Hello everyone, myself Akshant Khatlare, rule number 9, and I am going to read two topics. Number one is rational use of medicines, and number second is adverse drug effect. So let's start one by one. Number one is rational use of medicines. So, according to WHO, rational use of medicine requires that patient receives medication appropriate to their clinical needs in dose that meet their own individual requirement for an adequate period of time and at the lowest cost to them and their community. It involves the administration of right drug, right dose, right duration, right cost to the right patient. Let's have an example of irrational prescribing. So, in this, drug not prescribed as per standard treatment guidelines, unnecessary use of drug, example, antibiotics for viral infection, underuse of drug, example, not prescribing oral rehydration solution in acute diarrhea, incorrect use of drug like selection of wrong drug, use of incorrect route and dose of a drug. And next is use of medicines with doubtful efficacy, example in appetite stimulant. Next one is prescribing banned drug, example cisapride. Use of irrational combination, say for example ampicillin is not given with cloxacillin for staphylococcal infection. And the last one is prescribing expensive medicines unnecessarily when cheaper, equally effective drugs are available. And now let us come to the hazard of irrational use of drug. Therapeutic failure may occur, increased incidence of adverse drug reaction may occur, emergence of drug resistance microorganism may increase in cost of treatment, increase in financial burden to the society. The last one is increase in loss of patient faith in the doctor. Now the last is rational prescribing. So according to WHO, a diagnosis has to be made, the problem has to be defined, the therapeutic goal has to be achieved, example relief of symptom, cure, etc. has to be set. The right drug, appropriate route, dose and duration of treatment has to be selected. Write a complete prescription. The last one is proper instruction and information about the drug should be given. So here we have completed rational use of medicine, and now I am going to read the second topic, which is adverse drug effect. So let's start by its introduction. In case of adverse drug effect, it means as any undesirable or unwanted effect of a drug. The WHO suggested definition of ADR and adverse event. Both are different basically. So, in case of adverse drug reaction, it means any response which is noxious, unintended, and which occurs at doses normally used in human for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy of the disease, or for modification of physiological function. Second one is adverse event. Adverse event means any unwanted medical occurrence that may present during treatment with a pharmaceutical product but which does not necessarily have causal relationship with the treatment. Now, the types of adverse drug reaction. Basically, it has got two types. Number one is type A, number second is type B. The type A, also known as augmented reaction and predictable reaction. In case of type B, also known as Bayes reaction or unpredictable reaction. So let us know it by one. In case of predictable reaction, these are basically predictable reaction to a drug which are related to its pharmacological action, as they include side effects, secondary effect and toxic effects. In case of unpredictable reaction, these are non-dose related unpredictable reaction to a drug. These are not related to the pharmacological action of the drug. Allergic reaction and idiosyncrasy are the predictable reactions. In predictable reaction, the side effect, secondary effect, and toxic effect, all these three are included. So, in side effect, These are unwanted pharmacological effects of a drug that are seen with therapeutic dose. Say for an example, atropine used in the treatment of heart block also produces dryness of the mouth, as well as blurring of the vision, urinary retention, etc., which are the side effects. And second, in secondary effect, the primary action of the drug may result in the other effects. Say for an example, immunosuppression by corticosteroids can lead to the development of opportunistic infection. Example, oral candidiasis. Third one is the toxic effect. In this, these are the effect of the drug which are either due to overdose or chronic use of the drug. Example, bleeding due to chronic use or overdose of the anticoagulant, and nephrotoxicity with aminoglycoside, especially in the patient with renal failure. So secondly, we have got unpredictable reaction. It includes drug allergy. It means it is an abnormal response which can either be local or systemic, mediated by immune system to a drug or foreign antigen. So different types of hypersensitivity reaction are discussed below. Number one is those associated with humoral antibodies. It include type 1, type 2 and type 3. And second, those associated with cell mediated immunity. It comes type 4, also known as delayed hypersensitivity reaction. So let's start. Type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. It has another name, that is immediate type and anaphylactic reaction. So it is a rapidly occurring reaction, hence called as immediate hypersensitivity reaction. The manifestations are the itching, hay fever, asthma, or even anaphylactic shock. Itching rhinitis are treated with the antihistamines. So let's read its mechanism. The mechanism of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. So first of all, what happened? The exposure to certain drug occurs, which are penicillin, aspirin, lignocins. So after this, the Ig antibodies production occurs, which are fixed to the mast cell. So after that, on exposure to the same drug, antigen antibody reaction occurs on the mast cell surface. After the reaction, the release of mediators occur, which are histamine, 5-HT, prostaglandin, leukotrienes, and P. Then we get hypotension, bronchospasm, angioedema, rhinitis, and anaphylactic shock. So the anaphylactic shock is a medical emergency and should be treated promptly with injection of adrenaline, that is 0.3 to 0.5 ml intramuscularly. Number second is injection of hydrocortisone, that is 100 to 200 mg intravenously. Number third is injection of pheniramine, that is 45 milligram intramuscularly, or we can use intravenously. Now the last one is maintain the patient airway, intravenous